Welcome back to the channel, buddy, and I hope you're doing fine. We continue playing Rogue Trader Warhammer 40k, and today we are... the hell? Oh my goodness, those. Yeah. Atala Spain engine, the creation of deranged minds of Drukhari homunculi, twisted sculptors of flesh from Dark City of Komarov. So we have we have a trophy. Oh, I hate those fuckers. They're really freaking painful. Ooh.
Oh, it's a peculiar
What?
thing.
Wait a minute. That's a slith. Yeah. Stuffed corpse of slith. A bizarre xenobeast that was once in service of the Drukhari. So we stuffed it and put it here. Noise. Oh, you remember that one? I guess you do remember that one. Oh, that was dangerous one. What the hell is that? Celestial Eye. Heretical. The pulpit of Eye hollowed out of the tessarium surface looked unfathomably deep. Whichever way the amulet faces, the gaze seemed to follow you. Oh yeah, this is definitely Zinchi stuff. Yeah, you must be heretical to use it. Gains percentage of well degradation, hit chance, and hit chance? Yeah, hit chance. And deals more critical damage. Ugh. Let's add this one to cargo actually. What's that? The sculptor's masterful skill is evidently in every little detail of your countenance. Ugh. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this sculpture here. Okay, maybe we have something else here. What's that? This secret code came from production lines of Kyavagana. Yeah, I do remember Kyavagana. What's that? Diffused explosive device created by inhuman hands and brought aboard the Von Valenza ship by Xenos raiders. Oh, I do remember this mission. So this is all the parts of our mission. We have some other stuff to be placed here later, I guess. Maybe we have something else around. We've already read the... I don't remember if we read about this one. What's that? And this fine sculpture made from strange metal seemed to absorb any rays of light that fall upon it. Okay. If I remember correctly, we had something like... No, this is link your account. That's the vault, all the stuff. Anything in there? Who's that? The long dead eyes of this furious monster forever capture the fear and pain of its final moment. I don't remember this monster, but it looks like a Groot? Yeah, it looks like a Groot or whatever that huge thing called, the faction, what was the name of the faction, those for the greater good? Tau. Yeah, Tau. Definitely. Nah, we're not going to take a bus because most likely we won't be able to summon Cassia here. So anyway, let's move. Hand rings. Yeah, do we need to talk to you're not really Abelard. Yeah, we need to do your quest, Abelard. Definitely need to do your quest. I would like actually to find. Oh, Pascal, you still have the unholy flesh. Can we do something about it?
Messiah knows all. Come,
No, we cannot. Where is? Where is Proctor? Later, yeah, here you are. Salmon.
Greetings, Rogue Trader. I would like to report that Glato and I have finished our initial inspection of the upper decks. The list of infractions ended up being 5 pages shorter than expected. I'm beginning to worry that a servant of the Lex might have little to occupy himself with aboard your ship.
You're not happy about that one, yeah? But you know what? Well, maybe that means that something's good going on my ship, yeah? About your cyber mastiff.
You hear that, Glato? The Rogue Trader himself is asking about you.
Yeah, good. He's a good boy, I know, but I'm not going to touch him. I know. He's really strict one guy. Yeah, is Glato fully servitorized, or is some part of him still is a living? No. I hope that you don't have any more broken connection between you and Glato, but yeah, let's ask.
Generally, cybermastiffs have all aspects of their animal nature removed, but Glato is a special case. His submodel takes a dog's loyalty and instincts as a hunter and guard and renders them absolute. He is neither a dog nor a servitor. He is something much more. A cybermastiff, a living weapon in service of the law.
Oh, such a nice dog. Yeah, sorry, I was checking if I'm recording everything. Looks like everything on the record and everything should be good. Awareness test succeeded. You cannot shake the feeling that your question has offended Solomon somehow. Certain vehemence in the way he described Glato's outstanding qualities. Okay. Sorry if I offended you somehow. Why do you call him Glato?
His serial number is GL80. Glato is easier to say in Gothic. Many give their cybermastiffs striking names like Slayer or Thunder. I'm fine with Glato.
That's good. What can your dog do? I guess
He
let's
mostly
ask.
provides combat support. He is trained in both lethal and non-lethal ways of disabling a target, with the ability to analyze a situation and then decide on a course of action. Glato is a good tracker too, and he can spot basic evidence. He also knows over 100 commands. In general, he is more resourceful and diligent than most people I've met.
And I can fully understand him. Augmentics?
Glato, ready! The frame is mostly metal, with armored plates covering the vital segments. The jaw is reinforced. Crunching a leg off is like tearing a hair out for him. I don't even know a tenth of all the things Glato is fitted with, but it's an impressive list to be sure. Take the sensors in his nose for one. A cybermastiff is like an odor analysis laboratory. All right, that's that. Glato, attention.
Such a nice dog. What commands does he know?
They range from kill and guard and the like, to more complex guard and patrol protocols. A protocol is a combination of behavioral patterns, which the cybermastiff follows according to the present situation. In other words, I don't have to control Glato all the time. He can adjust and react to the circumstances on his own.
I'm not going to misbehave with this guy. With Glato. That'll do.
As you wish.
You talk about him as he were a tool. Do you not feel attached to your dog at all?
Glato is not a pet. He is an instrument of justice. as am I.
I understand. Okay. Did I misheard, or did you just say you consider yourself to be on the same level as your dog? No, that's absolutely fine. Proctor, evidence suggests that you are not quite so indifferent to Glader as you want people to believe.
Impossible. You found me out? Yes, I am 100% less indifferent than I let on.
He'll only listens to you then.
Correct. Both his training and his augmetics ensure that Glato only accepts orders from me or from my superior officers. Apart from having the obvious benefits, it also serves to prevent disarray on missions involving multiple Cybermastiff handlers.
I see. Okay. Am I imagining it, or do you seem relaxed?
I doubt such a word could ever be accurately used to describe an arbitrator, but there is some truth to your observation. Since we're not in combat, I permit myself to stand at ease, which is to say, I'm standing by on full alert.
Make the hand signal for understood. Salman responds with an equal gesture signaling his assent. Tell me about Adeptus Arbites.
We are servants of the God Emperor's law, made manifest in the Lex Imperialis. The Adeptus Arbites uphold order on the scale of the Imperium and bring merciless punishment to offenders.
What types of crimes do you usually handle?
The most significant ones. Beyond the Expanse, the Arbites not only enforce tithe collection, but also ensure that every planet obeys his law and that the Imperium's authority remains unchallenged. Corrupt governors, crime syndicates, rebels. Not a minute goes by without some parasite trying to take a bite out of the Imperium. We destroy any who dare trespass against the law.
Arbites, not Arbites, like I'm saying. I'll try to remember this one. So if you see someone trying to murder an innocent man whose life is irrelevant to maintaining order of the Imperium, you simply walk on by.
Unless said man's innocence has been previously established, such as during an investigation. In any other scenario, murder is just a common disturbance. My intervention is only required in the case of an attack on an administratum functionary or some other important figure. Then, I must take measures. However, if I have an assignment to carry out, I will ignore any distracting factors. The duties of the Arbites are above everyday crime. We collect the tithe that feeds the military might of the Imperium and sustains its authority over many worlds. To be bogged down in trivialities is to commit a criminal waste of time and resources that have been granted to us to serve the absolute of the law.
What about witches and arch-enemy cults?
Those are indeed the greatest threat to the Imperium, and I never leave a heretic I meet without a bullet lodged inside him. But such matters are primarily handled by other forces, which are influential enough so as not to be mentioned out loud without a reason.
I wish to ask you about
I am
something
at your disposal.
else. Well, the mission is clear, but let's ask. What is the mission of the Adeptus Arbites in the Corona's Expanse?
To collect and guard the tithe. That does not mean we ignore other violations of the Lex Imperialis. We simply act within the scope of our limited resources, the first of which being our small numbers. Here in the Expanse, many believe themselves to be too far from the civilized parts of the Imperium to have need of the law. The presence of the Adeptus Arbites helps to remind those people that the Lex Imperialis is in effect wherever there is at least one human being.
Well, hello, Glader. Cybermassive picks up his ears, examining you with intelligent look that seem anything but bestial. I don't wanna mess with that dog. Pet the dog. Shall we risk it with our hand? Even though he knows us, but that doesn't seem like a good idea to pet him. So let's not touch someone's other dogs. Like I will never do it in my life. So I guess we'll stick to this rule, to my rule in the game. Does Glitter have favorite type of training or some other pastime of choice?
Sometimes I let him play with heretics' corpses. That was a joke. If you're asking about entertainment, that concept does not really apply to an RPT's dog. But I like to imagine that Glato is enthusiastic about training with me, that he enjoys running long distances at my side, and during target practice, he always seems eager to hear me give the attack order.
Persuasion, that can be all of it, can it?
Fine. Let me satisfy your curiosity.
Yes, please.
I do have a special exercise that helps to sharpen Glato's hunting instincts. I take a few ammo casings and hide them in hard-to-reach places. One time, after a raid on a manufactorum, I gave him a whole abandoned workshop to run around in. But I also played a trick on him by throwing one casing onto a ceiling beam. Then it was Glato's turn to play tricks. He waited under the beam until I walked up to him. Then he jumped onto my shoulders and climbed to the top. He cut my temple open with his claw and almost broke my clavicle, but he got the casing.
That's some interesting case you have, guys. But anyway, I think you and Glitter could do your own training ground. I will order space, be prepared in one of the compartments, and I have outfitted with. And I have it outfitted with everything you need.
The equipment needs to be sturdy. Glato is unstoppable when he's not holding back. Thank you.
Well understood. I'm so tempted to try all of those, but serve with duty and honor later. Supermassive growls quietly. It seems he does not take kindly to anyone making eye contact with him for more than a second. Yeah, we should. Yeah, see, by that reaction, we should not pet that dog. It must feel strange to be without your unit.
I've never been a part of a rogue trader's escort before. That said, I adapt to change more quickly than you might think. And as long as Glato is with me, I can handle any transition.
What's Tassera? I don't remember.
Of course. Which part?
What do you think we could have done to satisfy the prefect?
I do not know. It was one of those tough situations where only time will tell how well you handled them.
I really don't remember that mission.
If I were in your position, I would take the prefect's evaluation in stride and learn from your painful experience on Dasara. Sometimes, life knocks the wind out of you in a way that can't be dodged, so it helps to learn how to take a hit.
I'm curious, did you like any of entertainment we saw on Tathera?
I was on a mission, not attending to pointless amusements.
There must have been something that appealed to you.
Very well. If you insist, let me think about it one more time. The wine smelled like wash. The imposter hunt was a plot. I failed to see anything appealing there. And the rest of the festivities had all the characteristics of degradation. I believe that covers everything.
Wait a minute.
Nope, wait a second. I don't know why, but I enjoyed seeing that augmented beast roam free.
Oh yeah, the planet where we've swapped the bodies. Yeah. On second thought, maybe Tessera was not all that impressed after all.
I am certainly no expert or point of reference on this subject. Perhaps you are simply hard to impress. You are a rogue trader, after all.
Yeah. Enough about that.
We could discuss something else.
Nah.
You know where to find me, rogue trader.
Well, I can only assume that everything's fine. Ulfa, my man.
Broke free
Whoa.
the bold from captors grasping. Dark cities, feeble dungeons, eternally disgracing. Flows now this saga in the hall of glorious feasting, where all extol the wolf mighty and the yet fatter cunning. I hope you're not going to put off the feast. Our escape demands a grand celebration.
Oh yeah, you would like to have something like that. We haven't found your helmet and your axe. Actually, I really hope we will find something like that. At least the axe, it looks great. Yeah, I wouldn't mind you to have some helmet on you, but yeah. What are you planning to do with your newly acquired freedom?
Find my pack. As we speak, they are likely performing some bloody service for Calcazar. For that reason, I want to have a word with the Inquisitor. Fenris Hilda.
And we will have this word with Calcazar, trust me, but a little bit later. First of all, I would like to complete the first task is St. Charles' task. Ooh, I saw Imperium and House of Sel. Wait a minute, you don't have tongue, if I remember correctly. Cassian.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations.
Hello, my darling. What does your special sight reveal?
The fire of a rising sun illuminates Ulfar's face. A blaze so incandescent, it is painful to look at. But whenever the fire subsides, even for a second, at once an undercoat of dismal grayness and repulsive green haze envelops his shoulders. No one around him notices it, but I see.
So, yeah, there is a burden.
Streaks of fiery copper snake through the Proctor's soul, as though something had recently burst free. Anger, rage, pain,
All of
and
it.
left an indelible mark on it. Gone is his previous aura of steel grey, forced out by a new palette. His heart now bleeds new shades, natural hues that throb in time with his pulse. This transformation is mesmerizing.
Well,
I have enjoyed your company.
let's hope that Proctor will be more humanized after all. Magenta.
Lord Captain, your presence is welcome. And I wish to apologize for my prior coldness. After our first meeting, I was concerned that he would turn out to be another faithless offshoot of the von Valancius dynasty, like the traitor Conrad. But now I see before me a worthy leader and servant of the Imperium. I am glad to accompany you in your endeavors.
Are you ready to tell me more about yourself now? Do we want to know something? Not, I would like to discuss Salis Prime and the relic that you want to find.
Of course. My mission is all I can think about.
Remind me what's our mission. No, I do remember that we need to find the sink. Tell me about Saint Argenta, whose relic you're searching for. So what is this 1 star?
If I only knew. Neither the hagiography nor the legends give a straight answer. Classical iconographers believed that the star turned into a banner woven from silver thread, which, when brought onto the battlefield, would shed light that blinded only heretics, but did no harm to the faithful. Most of them portrayed Saint Argenta as a girl carrying this banner. Others think that upon falling from the sky, the 1 star became a holy chainsword, which Argenta later used to strike down monsters and enemies of the Imperium. In some of the earlier engravings, Argenta is depicted wearing power armor with a silver star on her chest. One theological theory suggests that this armor was, in fact, the relic. Some even think that the 1 star is actually the ship on which Argenta traveled. I feel that my undertaking will be fulfilled when I find the answer that has eluded the Ecclesiarchy for millennia. I pray we find the way to Salus Prime soon. The ruinous powers must be aligned against us. They stand in the way of faith.
Salus Prime.
One day we will reach Salus.
Okay, I guess. Who are you? Remind me, please. The Lordship. The doctor, I guess. Okay. Anyway, first mission is going to be to deal with the essential stuff. What's that? The Janos. Yeah, okay. A brave man. Oh, what? His competence. Oh, that's the Drukari weapon. No. Thank you. I absolutely forgot how to. This one? Yeah, this one. Absolutely forgot how to travel through the expanse. Ooh, there's a lot of stuff in there that we don't know. Eye of the Magnetic Storm, Spoils of Prudence, Hotbed of Xenoheresy, Showing the Way, all the stuff like that. Yeah, okay. Anyway. Footfall. No, not a footfall. We need. What's them? No, maybe this one. Darganos. Resistance mentioned by I don't remember which one we need to do. Nomos. House of Sirens stands accused of treason. Yeah, this one. Dargonos. Okay, Dargonos it is. So we need to go there. That's 1, 2, 3 jumps. Oh my goodness. What? 43 navigators insights. Why? If I remember correctly, we didn't had a lot of navigator insights. Well, if we have so much navigator insights, so why don't we yeah, no need to do the perfect one. Let's just use this one. Huh? Well, Lord Captain, we have visitors on the bridge seeking an audience. Your presence is required. Okay, what happened? Another one, breach. Or heretics trying to attack me, or... Whoa. Whoa. That's a lot of... Okay. Yanis, High Factorum bows slow to you. Your Lordship, if I may beg for a minute of your precious attention, I'm elated to notify you that delegation of High Ecclesiarchs of the Adeptus Ministorum has arrived at your vessel. The holiest of his servants have come to proclaim their veneration before the Rogue Trader, faithful to his word and fearful to his wrath. Cardinal, long may the Von Valancia's name be prized in the annals of the Imperium. May the God Emperor protect this dynasty from peril and adversity. Noble Legrand Von Valancius, vault of your righteousness and diligence in serving him has spread to the farmost corners of Corona's expanse. It would be folly to let paragons such as you travel among the stars without firm spiritual support. We are here to correct this egregious oversight. From this day forth, this ship will be consecrated daily and nightly by the servants of the Ecclesiarchy, given to you for toils eternal, so that his light in the halls may never fade. The Ecclesiarchy grants you a holy relic, a banner of Saint Cognatius, obtained in the conquest of the Expanse. May this gift instill trepidation and reverence in the hearts of your subjects, and the altar created, buried, becomes a place of prayer for your senior officers. Yanis, does your lordship wish to witness the installation of the altar and banner? You would be the first to kneel before the relic and set the example to piety of the crew. I would definitely do it. Even if I would have the option to, I would be definitely the one who will. Let's have a look. What's that? Behind the glass of the altar lies the banner of Saint Cognatius, a relic left behind by the one of the Imperium's greatest and most mysterious missionaries who converted more than one world in the righteous faith. Turn your thoughts to the God Emperor. Yes, please. Saint Aquila sign. Divine support effect applied. One resolve. Permanent duration. Nice. We have now divine support. Well, oh, wait a minute. If I remember correctly, that's regular missioners, yeah, around. We've received the boost to Dogmatic during our not a short visit to Drukhari Expanse. Drukhari. Not as Expanse. To Drukhari's place, yeah, and so I guess this is because we had that boost. Now we have this one. That's quite interesting. Detail we have here, but anyway, let's go. Okay, we don't have any. We didn't have any. How do I put that? Bottles, yeah. So everything's good. Everything's fine. And Doggonos. Sorry, been distracted. My son woke up and, well, you know, the breakfast, all the stuff like that, and yeah, okay. that? Security class, what's that? Two-handed melee weapon, Drukari. No, 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 no. Echo of victory. Whenever attacks any target in 5 silver around them with ranged weapon, attack deals 10% more damage. Efficiency +2. Kabbalika mission, okay. Loyalist trap. Light armor, 50% armor. Nice. No dodge penalty if the wearer has not moved during their turn. The cover efficiency increased by 20% for 1 round. If moved at least 3 cells patterns, again 20% dodge for 1 round. 20% dodge against ranged attacks. Ooh, that's a good one. Profit people security 3. Ooh. How do we get this one? Must be completed in the colony. Bastion. Complacency. We need complacency 7. We have complacency 2. Oh my goodness. Well, it will give me 5 profit factor, ship components, jewelry, Xena artifact, complacency 3. Oh, -3. Oh my goodness. We need a bunch of complacency for this one. Familial power armor. Oh my goodness. 80% armor, 7 deflection, and 15 strength. Weapons, people, security. And nothing going to be Holy Prophet Eyes. The velocity rate increased by +1 against demons and for each rank of dogmatic. Also not too bad. But this one power armor is it's freaking huge one. I don't mind to get it. Efficiency for all the planets, but -1 profit factor. What's that? Heretical +10. I don't want heretical. Profit factor, but complacency. Crimson Haze. Heretical. The user suffers bleeding. As long as the user is bleeding, they got 100% critical damage. Meh. Fellowship of the Void. Mechanisms we need for something I don't remember for war. But, shall we? I don't know, if I will use Call to Arms. Pure Blood will prohibit. The following must be completed. The following must be completed. Secret Lair. Bastion. Okay, Blocks Project Society of... No, I need this one. Blocks Scholar Progenium. Okay, this one will be blocked, and I need Bastions. I cannot do it yet, but I can do Call to Arms. We will increase security and we'll get this one. So, yeah, why don't we do this one, yeah? Why don't we do... Oh. How do I... get to the plan? Yeah, this is it. Oh yeah, we need a lot for this mission. I'm not sure that this is going to be a battle mission, actually, you know? This is more likely will be just go and talk mission. Ulfa have demolition. Yeah, he's medic. Perception, corrodes, all the stuff. So maybe we should take Henrix instead of Ulfa. Screw it. Let's do it without Lord Inquisitor. Come on. What the hell is going on? Ladies and gentlemen, please stand aside. No need to crowd around. Governor Drivestem will take care of everything. Oh, Drivestem. I hate Drivestem. This is ridiculous. Such a thing happening right in the Rogue Trader's Palace. Yeah, a bunch of dead bodies. What the hell is going on my planet? Who was that? I guess someone just simply disappeared, I presume. You are confronted by the sight of the dead bodies. At the entrance to the palace, the corpses have been hauled into a pile. Some are dressed in the uniforms of palace wardens, while others are arrayed in the clothing typical of the Dargonos nobility. Upon seeing you, a young enforcer stands at attention and swallows noisily. His voice trembles as he says, "Your Lordship, we are honored by your presence." Point at the dead bodies. What is this mess? You see, Your Lordship, people wanted to attack. The warden clears his throat. Second Lieutenant of the Palace Guard, Elaine Wade, reporting. Shortly before you arrived, we averted an assassination attempt on the Rogue Trader. The palace soldiers detected intruders and engaged them in the combat. Examine the assailants. Observation. The rare high-functioning servitor specimen presented among the expired units. Such specimens are traditionally bestowed upon the noble houses that are most loyal to sacred fellowship of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The argumentics of the deceased do differ from the implants of ordinary people. Their intricate construction makes it clear that the deceased were not ordinary humans. Oblate frowns. As far as I know, House Gepak has received such servitors from the Crimson Priesthood as gifts in the past, although this is my first time seeing one myself. Okay, where's the court counselor Clementina Viserion? I think she's with the rest of House Viserion detained in the throne room, that is. Governor Drastem has gathered all of the Dragonos nobility there to pronounce a guilty verdict against House Viserion. Why is the governor not here to greet the Rogue Trader? I do not know, Your Lordship. Perhaps he is. You can probably find him in the throne room, where the governor intends to put House Viserion on trial. I must take my leave. Oh.
Keep your wits
Hello.
about you.
I didn't?
There was a crumpled up letter in the inside pocket of an assailant's blood-soaked jacket. Blood-stained letter. The letter soaked with blood, only portion of the text that's readable through the crimson blotches. Full and discreet. Oh my god. Keep away from the lords and ladies. You must look like a noble to the servants and wardens. Do not engage in conversation with anyone. Your task is to avoid exposing yourself ahead of a time and let the Viserians get away while the wardens are busy guarding the Rogue Trader. What? Your task is to avoid exposing yourself ahead of a time and let the Viserians get away while the wardens are busy guarding the Rogue Trader. Oh. The bodies bear multiple wounds in the evidence they died recently. Huh?
I always have a backup plan.
Okay, some bad stuff going on. Okay, let's try and deal with all this mess. I guess it's time to take care of. Now, let me just remind myself. Gapak was not something really that powerful. But oh yes, there was three.
Since you have now officially joined the Rogue Traders' retinue, Proctor, let me remind you that the Lord Captain's word is law to you from here on out.
Abelard.
You are mistaken, Viserion. There is only the God Emperor's law, which means it is the only law I will ever obey. I'm surprised you would think it might be otherwise.
Yeah. Well, both of you correct.
Is there money to be made?
Actually, so yeah. Anyway, what's that? Oh, look at this guy. Let me through. I have an appointment with Chancellor Clementina Viserion. Chancellor. My apologies, my lord, but you cannot go any further. Governor drives them's orders. This is ridiculous. I shall complain. Yeah, you better complain. Move over. Let his lordship Rogue Trader through. I humbly beg your pardon, your lordship. Your lordship, please, this way. Governor Drastem. Your lordship, this is an honor. Governor Urban Drastem seems to materialize out of thin air, so suddenly does he emerge from the crowd. I regret that such unfortunate circumstances have occasioned the Rogue Trader's visit to the capital. Clementina tries to take a step towards you, but Warden nearby stops her. Her face is veiled with fear and weariness. Your lordship, you are here, please, you must hear us out. Drastam, the Rogue Trader is undoubtedly here to listen to the testimony of each and every one of us and punish the traitors. The governor words directed at Clementina are harsh. They are echoed by scornful sneers and whispers of the assembled nobles. Abelard, we have known each other for many decades now, and we have had our fair share disagreement, but do you really think my flesh and blood would trample upon the very definition of an honor and loyalty? Abelard's voice is quivering with rage. Drives them. The governor sweeps his gaze over Abelard, then replies, a faint shadow of doubt in his voice. We have evidence implicating them, Abelard. I'm sure that his lordship will arrive at fair ruling. Yeah. Okay, let's do it one by one. Tough situation, but we need to take care of it with cold heart. What are the charges against House Viserion? Disruption of logistical lines, bribery of Adeptus Administratum officials, document forgery, and the organization of heretical insurrections, on top of evidently devastating economic impact this has had on your protectorate. These criminals act have impeded the delivery of the imperial fine, which in turn has drawn the administrator's attention. Needlessly to say, the esteemed Adeptus Arbites cannot ignore the situation either. And before the representative arrive at the place, we are obligated to identify and punish those responsible. Oh, I guess you're... Yeah. You're too late. I'm already here, which means the Adeptus Arbites has started its official inquiry. You may cool your enthusiasm, Governor. You are already too late to rectify your mistake. Clementina, I wish to hear your account. Your Lordship, House of Viserion denies all charges laid against it. Clementina glances at the governor with defiance. These last few months have indeed been trying for Dargonus, but we have done our best to remedy the situation. My family, every effort was focused on on establishing the capital's logistic and economy, so much so that we failed to notice the web of the intrigue unfolding behind our backs. It seems like it. Your granddaughter of blood, yeah? And my personal protege. I decided like that. What happened on Dragonos in my absence? We were caught wind of the rumors of your disappearance. We patiently waited news on your return, but then Dragonos was struck by a series of terrible events. The first was sabotage of logistics that hampered shipment. Then mass unrest spread across the entire planet, and the minor nobles' houses began squabbling among themselves, trying to pin the blame on their rivals. We took great pains to calm them down and managed to quash the revolt, though not without some outside help, unfortunately. This event's also been overshadowed by the, I am ashamed to even say it aloud in front of you, Lordship, the rumors circulating among the highest houses. The governor stammers, then takes a deep breath. Some were calling the Theodorus true heir to be installed as head of your house, Kunrad. Wait, Veer. Not all of your subjects have forgotten his past efforts for the benefits of the Trade Protectorate. The rest have stopped talking, watching you with tense expression. When the investigation was launched, the evidence led to the Viserions. Or maybe you took a chance while I was missing. Oh, we need to make an investigation really hard. Why are there dead bodies at the entrance onto my palace? Your lordship, I humbly beg your pardon. You see, right before your arrival, the palace guard discovered a plot to assassinate you. Fortunately, the malefactors were disposed before they could cause you any harm. Oh, this is more likely the distraction factor, I believe. Drivestam, you aren't accusing one of the Dargonos leading noble houses of treason without airtight evidence, are you? Of course I have evidence, your lordship. The investigation has established that members of the Viserion family, which is responsible for both Dargon's fleet and its logistics, used their contacts and influence to forge a host of documents in order to undermine the planet's supply routes and economy, though fomenting unrest among the inhabitants. Allow me to introduce my son Cornelius. The governor points to the lanky young man standing beside him. He bows curtly but avoids meeting your eye. Oh, you avoid meeting eye contact. Cornelius holds a prestigious position at the Administratum Palace, and it is thanks to him that we managed to identify and trace the entire chain of forged documents. The investigation led us to the preparators who admitted to acting on the orders of the member of House Viserion. It was they who were intent on spreading the idea, restoring the title of Rogue Trader to the true heir. First of all, I believe this is lies that they were spreading this idea. Second, this is a little bit suspicious that exactly your son found those documents. Oh. Okay, This young man is shrouded in mist of grey and blue, sickly shadows of fear and fluttering around him. Cassia speaks so quietly that only you can hear her. Yeah, thank you, Cassia. So his son is really a suspicious one. Speak to the heads of house present. Do you support the governor's accusations? The aristocrats in attendance exchange glances, the noble lords averting their gazes, and the noble ladies hiding behind the fans. No one is willing to be the first to answer. Sobek. Wait a minute, this is the Sobek who is the one who really hates my guts, yeah? Over his many years of service, Governor Darstim earned Theodore's trust and holds his high office for a reason. Sobek's tone is stern and imperious. On behalf of House Sobek, I support his accusations. Wait a minute, isn't your wife is trying to flirt with me? Regina Sobek. My apologies, your lordship, but I wish to speak to you. Regina looks into your eyes with a tender half smile, then turns her gaze on her husband. Of course I agree with my husband. Governor Drivestem would not press charges against anyone if he were not absolutely certain of the authenticity of the evidence he had unearthed. I think anyone here would agree that anyone who ever doubted the authority of true rogue traders should be prosecuted. I'm sure, your lordship, that you will eradicate the scourge of the heresy from your domain. Regina bows to you deferentially while maintaining eye contact with you. Toriana Gaprak. Your lordship, Governor Drostim has always faithfully served the rogue traders of House Von Valances and concerned himself with the future of your trade dynasty, and so House Gaprak thinks his charges against House Viserion to be sound. The argumentic hide Toriana's emotions, but her voice sounds slightly timorous. Clementina, I humbly ask you to allow me speak in defense of my family honor. The evidence provided by the governor is utterly false. I cannot refute it, but I can say with confidence that no one from my family has ever tried to forge documents in Adeptus Administratum, let alone undermine the economy of your capital. Sabotaging logistics, riots, conspiracy, and the case appears to be flimsy. I wish to learn more before I make my final decision. As you wish, your lordship, Drostim says. Speak to me when you are ready to announce your verdict. I guess this is what we need to do. Thank you for your willingness to help, Lord Captain. I'm certain that all charges are false, and I would be grateful for your help in exposing them as such. I think you should speak to everyone present, the noble lords and ladies. Yeah, and we are going definitely to talk to all of them here. Not question. Do we need to level you up a lot? No, I don't think we need to. What do we have here?
I always keep my options open.
Gapax. Sobek. Yeah, the Sobeks who hate my guts, really. I don't like Drivestem, but as everyone's saying that, well, we'll see how loyal he is. Let's talk to Gapak first, I guess. The lords and ladies sumptuously dressed in the colors of House Gapak, are standing in half circle around Toriana and her son Vincent. The bodies and faces of almost every member of the dynasty are covered in large ornate argumentic. Toriana Gapak courtesies to you. Her mechanical voice sounds distant and indifferent. Greetings, your lordship. May the Omnissiah grant you understanding. With a click, her visor oculus swells to the sensual blood. It must be difficult for you to be here under these circumstances, with your house standing accused of such grave crime. My family, Lady Toriana, yet to be found guilty of anything. That verdict is for the rogue trader to reach. Do you think the accusation against the Syrian family are true? I would not take such a responsibility upon myself and rule on their guilt, your lordship. I do think Governor Drastam's accusations are worthy of consideration, however. In your opinion, which nobles might have reason to be party to such a conspiracy? She thinks for several moments before replying. Pardon my bluntness, your lordship, but I will answer truthfully. It could be anyone. Greed, fear, ideals can drive even the most loyal subject to the unthinkable. Oh yeah, what a surprise, what a surprise. People being people. I have examined the bodies of assailants that were killed today. All of them were high-functioning servitors. Such servitors are only employed by families close to the Adeptus Mechanicus. Isn't that so? It is impossible to read Toriana's emotions in her heavily augmented face, but her sudden turn towards her family betrays her confusion and surprise. Perplexed whispers bounce from one family member to another. Impossible. We came here by ourselves without any servitors. We know nothing about it. Your lordship, thank you for informing us of this. You're absolutely right. My house has indeed been endowed with high-functioning servitors, a blessing for those who revere the Omnissiah, but today no one of our house members were accompanied by them. Or your line, or someone's from your family line. I found this note on the bodies of one of the attackers. What are your thoughts on it? Toriana mechanical fingers grips the paper. Officially, high-functioning servitors are employed by my house and my house alone. If such units were to attack the rogue trader, suspicions would instantly fall upon the Gapraks. I assume that this is what the Viserians intended to happen, but they did not expect that servitors would have their letters on them. Vincent, I wish to speak to you. Why? Good question, but... Ready to serve, your lordship. How may I help you? Okay, so this is... maybe the son of... Okay, never mind. Part of family. What do you make of these charges against the Syrian family? Could they truly be guilty? I do not think I can doubt the validity of accusations, but Vincent's voice trails off and he seems to retreat into himself for a moment before continuing. He takes a deep breath. I'm also not sure that House Viserion had a reason to betray your lordship. I do not know of any instances where their loyalty to you and the Emperor was anything less but unwavering. That's a good words. I know you care for Astaria Viserion. Are you prepared to watch her die? Vincent's jaw augmented screeches slightly. The young man scrutinized his mother and other family members for a few moments. There is something you ought to know, your lordship. I'm listening. Today I noticed one of my family members to be in an odd, uncharacteristic mood. Helena Gapak is my paternal second cousin, once removed. May the Emperor save his soul. Unusually reserved and self-possessed. Today he was frantic and anxious, fidgeting with a small piece of paper and seemingly looking for someone to no avail. When I last saw him, he was headed to the entrance hall where the altars are. Perhaps you should talk to him. That'll do. Okay. I shall take my leave. Okay, so back and... Yeah, drives them. And where is Viserions? Yeah, and let's talk to Viserions. As you draw closer, the wardens step aside, bowing respectfully, allowing you to approach the Viserion family. Clementina, tired and slightly disheveled, is the first to bow her head to you in deference. Several men and women behind her follow suit. Your lordship, the woman stammers as if lost for words. Accept my most humble apologies for failing to greet you properly, and my thanks for agreeing to speak to me before making your final decision. The charges brought by the governor are severe, but I can only assure you of this and swear on my own honor we are not guilty of the crimes that House Viserion been accused of. Sorry, I've been checking if I'm recording. Clementina. A hint of sorrow creeps into Abelard's voice, belying his stern facade. You were acting head of this family. You were supposed to take care of each and every family member, and now you are being accused of treason and collusion against the rogue trader, and the entire family is facing death. How could you let this happen? Are you truly guilty? Be honest. I will not tolerate lies. Clementina, if you know that a member of your family is guilty on the crimes you are being accused of, Abelard, it is your family too, you know. The woman's sword burned with defiance. My apologies. I should not lose my composure. No members of House Viserion is involved in conspiracy against his lordship. Honor and loyalty are not something we take lightly, and we know whom we serve. The governor claims you forged documents in the administratum. The fleet is the primary remit of House Viserion. It is our responsibility. Logistics and supplies routes are another area of our responsibility. We have no direct influence on the inner working of the Adeptus Administratum. The first large-scale deliveries were cancelled after quantities of food were miscalculated by clerks in the Administratum. Then we were faced with incorrect weather data and merge fuel budget. It was clear that the cause of all these problems were calculations performed in the Administratum in one way or another, but no matter how many times we asked, we could not even obtain any clarification on the matter. So, wait a minute. So, it's clearly the mistake from the Adeptus Administratum, but they were not willing to speak to you about this one. I found this letter on one of the bodies of the heretics who planned the attack. What can you tell me about it? While Clementina reads the letter, the Viserions behind her read it over her shoulder. Your lordship, let us be frank. It would be foolish of me to try and orchestrate something like this. Knowing how many wardens are patrolling your palace, I would not have let myself or anyone in my family get involved in such scheme. Yeah, that's absolutely true. The attackers were high-functioning servitors ones that looked closer to ordinary humans. Do you know anything about them? Servitors, is that so? Clementina crosses her arms and froze her brows deep in thoughts. I have encountered servitors that were indistinguishable from normal augmented humans, but only once. They were accompanied several members of House Gapak. Again, Gapak. If you are not guilty, who is? Who stands to gain from farming you? Anyone, really, Clementina replies with a bitter laugh. The other houses consider us unworthy of our position and many would jump at the chance to get rid of us and gain control over what once was our domain, the planet's fleet and logistics, at the very least. Lady Theodora chose Grand Noble status to House Viserion, but the other houses, which have served the expanse for millennia, did not welcome the decision. It has led to some difficulties, said Abelard. I want to find out what's going on here and who's real mastermind behind all this. Where should I start? I'm afraid, Clementina says, I cannot be of much help. Talk to the representatives of other houses. Withdraw upon their retinue, and perhaps you will hear something unusual. Must take my leave. Okay, before I'm going to talk to two
Always
houses
keep your
that
eye
I
on the price.
don't really like, let's go to somewhere here, that said. Yep, Helen. Okay. Let's talk to this guy. A finely dressed man of middle years is kneeling in front of altar, his palms folded in prayers. Close to his face, the implant-free... Oh my goodness, yeah, like that. Implant-free parts of his skin are sickly blue color. The nobleman does not react to your presence. He doesn't lift his head, he doesn't blink, he doesn't even breathe. Only when you draw closer, you realize that he's dead. Really? Fuck. Abelard looks at the man, his eyes grim. The colors of Hasga Park. It is... I do not believe he decided to take his own life in such an extravagant way. Yes, exactly. As far as I know, there is a warden post here, but I do not see any wardens. Senchal looks around. There is no one to ask about what happened here, or with whom this man spoke before he died. I would like to ask Obent where the palace guard suddenly disappeared. Okay, Avernus examined the body. Succeeded, yes, good. Even though it's high chance, but still, you know, yeah. There are no visible wounds on the body, but near the edge of the gold-trimmed collar, you notice a tiny puncture in his blue skin, likely a wound caused by a thin needle. Gold trim collar near the neck, you mean? Collar. Or the hand collars. No, maybe the hand collars name differently. Anyway, Medicaid identified tried to determine the cause of death. Succeeded. Death came from him suddenly and ravaged his body with cramping spasms that prevents him from falling to the ground. Some rare poison have such side effect. The affected victim suffocates slowly without being able to move or call for help. That's fucking awful death. Search the pockets. You discover the secret pocket in the lining of the dead man luxury jacket. You find folded piece of paper inside, hidden behind the handkerchief. Handkerchief embroidered with the initials HG. Yeah, fuck. Short note. Make sure that Rogue Trader is attacked by someone loyal. It should appear as if it was all staged to let the Viserion family escape. This is the last assignment. Soon your debt will be paid off in full. Look around. You are almost certain that wardens are usually stationed nearby, but their post is empty. Where they're gone? This would be an excellent question to put to Governor Drasden. Okay. Step away from the corpse. Okay. Anything else around here? So trust them.
Keep your wits about you.
Or alternatively, maybe let's talk to Sobek first, and Drasden will be the last one. Yeah, Regina is the one that flirts with me all the time. Before Bowen, Sobek scrutinizes you with bitter, judgmental look, your lordship. Curious, okay. Hedka Sobek, looking like a younger copy of his father, stands at slight distance close to his mother. An expensive yet understated dress serves to highlight the dazzling beauty of Machera's wife, Regina. Regina, your lordship, I'm delighted that you have chosen to grace us with your attention. Regina drops into a curtsy while looking entirely into your eyes. Okay, if we were poking the hornet's nest during the previous time we were trying to get the I was trying to just to get this guy angry, but now kiss Regina's hand. I'm honored, lady. So this one definitely not my option. Now it's everything is too serious. Do you really believe in the Viserions are guilty? Oh, this is such a stupid question, actually. You know, the Sobek family is really damn problematic one. Certainly, Sobek replies without hesitation. Governor Drasden possesses proof of the guilt that they have no means by which to refute it. Even if I were to entertain the idea that the Viserions are being framed, how much longer would the house have lasted anyway? If it is so ill prepared for treachery, he addresses Abelard with slightly mocking tone. My advice to House of Seren would not to appeal to rogue traders for help, but instead simply to stop. Accept their fate, do not make matters worse for themselves. Oh. I cannot remember Legrand von Velassen seeking your advice on what House of Seren should do in this situation. Pay attention, Machera, focus on rogue traders' question. Who, apart from the Viserion, could have motive to conspire against me? Machera's house drives them, wishing to expand their cloud. House Gapak, who lost their influence at Kiavagama incident. Also, Sobek looks back at his family and turns to you again. House Sobek, whose patriarch is too direct in their communication with Rogue Trader. Anyone could have reason to conspire against you, and equally, they could have none. It is not question of motive but of loyalty. Each of your subjects have sworn oaths of loyalty to you. So whose sincerely do you doubt? So you're not telling me directly you... Oh my goodness. If I would hear something like that directly in my life, I would say definitely that this guy is guilty as fuck. Or he just want me dead, which is actually not far from guilt. I'm not doing this one, definitely. The assailants sent to the palace were rare, high-functioning servitors. Do you think the Gapax could be behind the attack? Sobek looks away briefly and replies to you with a cold laugh. I have always thought Toriana too weak to participate in such risky ventures, but it seems I was wrong about her. I discovered a dead body in my palace. A man of House Gapak was killed while praying to the Emperor. He had this note on him. Do you know anything about it? Acharius looks at the note without taking it from your hands and replies without hesitation. No, I know nothing about this note. Oh, you're so guilty. I will be really
Is there money to be made?
Displeased if they are not guilty. Okay, wait a minute. Shall we say that we found one of your family members dead? Is this an... Yeah. I discovered a dead body of member of your house right here in my palace. He died kneeling in prayer. Rihanna covers her open mouth with her hand in surprise and turning to her family looks for someone among them. Helen. It can't be. Helen was it? Tell me about him, Rihanna. Helen is one of the lower ranking members of House Gapak. Despite his advanced age, he never held his high office, but he was forever striving to better his position, even beyond his abilities. Many members of my house struggled to cope with the misfortune that befell Kiawagama and our family. Some members could not reconcile themselves to our new position. Helen was one of them. What could have happened to him? Rihanna with the circulars are fixed on the floor, her fingers restlessly clenching the fabric of her dress. Toriana, the time to keep silent is long gone. The future of the von Valassens trade dynasty and your house are both at stake now. We lost Kiawagama, a truly devastating blow to every member of House Gapak. I lost all hope for the future, and my kin lost their sense of purpose. We need time to recover and chart a new course for ourselves. We were and still are more than capable of doing that, but I will not deny it. The other houses have offered us their assistance for their own self-serving ends. Perhaps Helen decided to take them up on one of the offers behind my back. Yeah, it seems like it. Essential bows ever so slightly and speaks quietly so that only you can hear him. Lord Captain, the Gapax, all or perhaps only some of them are definitely involved, but I suspect that they were not behind the plot against you. Helen Gapak could be nothing more than a puppet in the hands of deft puppet masters. We must expose, however, that is if we are to prevent the pestilence of heresy from spreading any further. Yeah. What do you suggest we do? Interrogate the heads of the Drivestem and Sobak houses. One of them has been pulling the strings here. Once we uncover new evidence, announce that the guilty party will be publicly executed. Before you pronounce the verdict, I suggest focusing on each house in your indictment speech, and I shall observe them. I have known those people far longer than you have. I know all their gesture habits and behavioral quirks. I'm sure that I will be able to determine which of them was responsible for the rise based on behaviors. Okay.
I always keep my options open.
Anything to say, Clementina? Yeah, I discovered the body of Helanga Pak here in this palace. He had this note on him. Do you know anything about it? The younger members of the Viserion family crowd around to examine the note in the Clementina's hand. All present are beset with worry and bewilderment. I'm not sure if it is relevant, but perhaps you should know. Since the fall of Kiavagama House, Gapak has been faring poorly, to say the least. They have been looking for ways to enhance their influence and to improve their lot, including asking for help from the other noble houses. They have not approached us, of course. It is shameful to seek help from those you consider your inferiors, you understand. But perhaps that drives them, or Sobek can tell you more about this matter. Okay, so Beck is telling me nothing, so...
I always have a backup plan.
Drastam. Governor Drastam is surrounded by his retinue, who are all dressed in expensive gowns and finery. The matching color scheme of their outfit and striking physical resemblance among them suggests that they all come from one family. Your lordship, thank you for giving this case your undivided attention. The governor boss and the rest hastens to follow suit. I wish to hear your reasoning again. What makes you think of the Syrians behind the plot against me? As soon as the logistical and economical problems gave rise to the initial rumors, we tried to find the person responsible for spreading the calls of Wogdvir returns. The investigation showed that some of the documents inside the Adeptus Administratum were forgeries. We can thank my son Cornelius for such astute observation. I have one variant left with the other house, not Gapak, the other house, the bug report. No, we don't have bugs here. Okay, now I know that bug report is here. But this is really suspicious that his son found specifically. Maybe. Oh, yeah, okay. Let's continue our investigation. Your lordship, a slender younger man bows to you awkwardly and nervously licks his dry lips. I assure you that my humble person is undeserving of your attention. Oh, is that so? Cornelius holds a prestigious position at the Administratum Palace, and it was he who discovered the errors leading to the disrupted logistics. It is also thanks to him that we found the perpetrators of the forgeries who admitted to acting on the order of House Viserion. What do you make of this letter? I found it on one of the assailants. Governor drives them peers closely at the blood-stained paper. It looks like another piece of evidence incriminating House Viserion. Perhaps the truly did intended to kill you, or at least cause a steer to help them escape custody during the confusion that followed. You know what? Even if they will try to run away during the confusion, they will not be able to run away from this planet. This is such a stupid act. This is most likely, or they are really stupid trying to kill me like that, or make the confusion, yeah, like you said. Or this is more likely a setup. Yeah, somebody is trying to set them up. All of the assailants were highly functioning servitors. Such servitors are only employed by families close to Adeptus Mechanicus. High-functioning servitors, Drastin ponders this, rubbing his chin with his thumb. Such servitors are indeed rare, and the Gapax do have them in their service, but this could have been done intentionally with an eye to confuse you. Anyone with the desire and sufficient funds can hire them. Yeah, tell me more about your son, Drastin. Thank you for your interest, your lordship, but I am not worthy of it, Cornelius said. The governor sounds bold and stands still as he nervously stares down at the floor. Oh, you're so nervous. Son, show due respect. Forgive him, your lordship, governor says. This is the first time he has had the honor of attracting the attention of the rogue trader. Let's press this guy a little bit. He's so nervous. Tell me more about your job, Cornelius. What do you do? I manage the documents and records related to the economy of Dagonas. You probably know how scrupulous the workers of the Adeptus Administratums are. I'm afraid that a more detailed explanation of my duties would mirror the administrative processes of the Administratum. Too long and overly detailed. Cornelius tries to look in your eyes, but it's clearly hard for him to do. How did you manage to find the forged documents in the bureaucratic hell that is the Administratum? When compiling reports on last cycle's supply chain, I noticed inaccuracies and discrepancies in the figures. With the help of the other clerks, I managed to find several other documents. Cornelius stammers and swallows noisily. Comprehensive data analysis had shown that the discrepancies were caused by intentional tampering with the data, thus leading to some logistical problems that were partially unsolvable. Fazen and I have managed to single out the Administratum clerks responsible for the tampering with the data. Following a heated interrogation, they confessed that they were following the orders of someone from House Viserion. Everything was supposed to look as though they were the ones suffering losses from the logistical and economic problems. Yeah, by the way, but does House Viserion have access to the Adeptus Administratum? There is no conceivable way they could do all of this in a place where they do not hold any power. Before replying, the governor's son nervously adjusts his expensive frock coat. I think the right amount of money can open any door. Cornelius, what is the true reason of your nervousness? The young man pupils suddenly dilate. He stands at attention and replies to you in one breath. This is the first time I have spoken face to face with Rogue Trader. I'm afraid of saying something wrong or forgetting something important. Are you? The governor closely watches his son. His tone changes, now sounding strict and curt. Do you wish to tell Lord Captain anything else? Governor said. Coercion. Place your hand on your weapon. You are speaking to Rogue Trader and my patience is running out. Yeah, let's press this guy more. Coercion succeeded, thanks to, I guess, our bot. No, it's mine. It's mine. Yeah, okay. You see the flash of terror in the Cornelius' eyes, and he stares at your hand on your weapon. He speaks quietly and confusedly without raising his head. Forgive me, your lordship. I cannot do it anymore. This lie has gone too far, and I can no longer control it. The truth is that all of the logical problems were caused by a single error in the numbers. My mistake. Oh. Governor. What? Urban looks genuinely shocked and enraged. Cornelius. When I discovered my mistake, it was almost impossible to restore the supply lines. Then I was approached by someone who said they were a friend. They did not give me their name and I never saw their face. They promised to fix the problem. All I had to do was pretend that the Viserians was responsible for the mistake. And as for the rest of the evidence, they promised to arrange it all and Cornelius is suffocating with fear, unable to speak. Governor Urban curls his hands into fists and knuckles turning white. What have you done? How could you? Your lordship! He suddenly turns to you, as if trying to shield his son. This is my fault. I trusted my son and have failed you in doing so. I beg you, have mercy. Abelard shakes his head. And you called my family honor into question, Urban. Nevertheless, I harbor no desire to kick a man when he is down. Lord Captain, the confession you have obtained means the House of Seren can now be cleared of all charges. Indeed, Abelard, indeed, my friend, but the question is still... Yeah. What is this friend that approached you, Cornelius? How did the two of you communicate? By letter. I received a letter out of the blue one day, and it was unsigned, but the person writing already knew about my erroneous calculations. If I butcher in some of the words, I'm really sorry, guys, but you know me, yeah. They offered to help me cover up my misdeed, and in return I would name the Viserians the ones who had sabotaged the supply lines. All I had to do was gather together some documents and reports that were listed in one of the letters. That and keep my mouth shut. Sentence to death. As Abelard said, and as I'm saying always, if Cornelius if son of the governor, even under the pressure, he had the courage to say the truth, eventually. Yeah, the lie is lie, and it always crumbles, and the truth always comes up. This is one of the cases where we can see it like okay. This is I have so much thing to. You see, the thing is that someone is really trying to get rid of Viserians because Viserians are really supporting me. If the drive stems, Garpak, and the other one, the Sawbacks, they are like, 50-50 maybe, well, maybe not 50-50, but they're wavering, yeah? So The Syrians are definitely on my side, so that someone was trying to get rid of them like that. Obend, your son has found the courage to admit his mistake. I will try and find some compassion for him in my heart. Thank you, your lordship, the governor bows low, then gives his son a look full of bitterness and frustration. And as for your position, I think you will be reassigned to a role requiring less responsibility. I found dead body in my palace. A member of House Gapak was slain in front of altar. Do you know anything about it? Yeah, by the way, where's the guards? A member of House Gapak was killed in the palace? Governor eyes blush in surprise. And no one noticed, but how? The wardens posted at every altar. There was no one near the deceased. The wardens have led their post. Did you order them to do so? Emperor forbid, your lordship. The governor helplessly throws his hand up in the air as if signify his powerlessness. My god. Your negligence is stunning, Orband. An assassination attempt followed by a mysterious death, and yet here you are, oblivious to everything. The rogue trader can justly accuse you of allowing a noble to be killed in the palace and failing even to notice it. He's right. It may be so, but it is for rogue trader to accuse me of negligence, not you. The governor address you once more. Your lordship, accept my deepest apologies for my imprudence. Nothing matters more to me than my honor. I shall send the servants to deal with all this immediately. Did you say Harlan got back the day before I arrived? Harlan? I did not see him myself, but perhaps... The governor turns around to ask his family, have anyone of you seen him today? The nobles talk quietly among themselves, and then a middle-aged woman with a tall, extravagant hairstyle replies to you. I think my sister and I saw him sitting on a bench some distance away from the palace's entrance. We think he was accompanied by a gentleman, but forgive us, your lordship, we could not make out his face. Lead me to this place. Of course, consider it's done.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Where to?
What do we have here?
Oh, I saw Lord Gapak. Sorry. I saw Lord Gapak conversing with someone here, your lordship. It was an honor to assist you. Venice 100.
I've read about this.
Blood. I recognize this bouquet. House Sobek usually serves this wine. Oh.
Keep your wits about you.
Is that so? This is the only option left, but I don't want to... and especially in front of Cassia. Doriana. No, nothing left here. Let's talk to the Syrians, maybe some other options. But basically, all accusations are dropped. Oh, we need to do something about Pascal. Cannot be removed by regular means. There should be some kind of...
Is there money to be made?
I guess some kind of quest, additional quest. Yeah, we need to talk to Pascal at our ship. Okay, Okay, let's talk to you. Summon everyone, I'm ready to pronounce my verdict. I hope we are ready. Governor addressed intensely, bows and replies without hesitation. Understood, your lordship. Allow me to prepare everything. So, accusation are dropped, I believe. Many faces are watching you, each and every one awaiting for Rogue Trader's verdict with bated breath. The charges brought by Governor Drastem were fabricated. House Viserion had nothing to do with the orchestration of the riots on the plot targeting the Rogue Trader. However, the real perpetrator are here in this very room. Oh yeah, he's going to observe everyone. The Seneschal nods to you as if urging you to continue, then shifts his piercing gaze into the crowd before you. Urban drives have accused House of Simulations. Following question possible. Doriana, members of your family like to say destination. I know that House of Back offered the help to get back. Cassia have really good awareness for this one. Nice. I know that House Beck offered the help to the Gapaks, and the late Helen Gapak seemed to have accepted the offer. I suspect that you're responsible for his death as well. You know, everything leading to the Sobek. I don't know if we are going to choose one, everything else going to disappear. I'm not sure. Okay, anyway, let's start from the very beginning. Urban Drastim, you have exhibited inexcusable negligence by failing to question the possible involvement of any other families besides the Viserion. We have discovered that the attempt of my life was orchestrated by the members of House Garpak. Awareness test succeeded, of course. The governor closes his eyes, fear and shame getting the better of him. Some faces in the crowd looks confused and surprised, but you see more varying expressions on self-satisfied contempt. Abelard looks from the governor to you and Stubblis shakes his head as if saying no. It is not Drastim pulling the strings here. Yeah, okay, but I don't mind to continue praising everyone. Urban Drastim, you have accused House Viserion of violations that were in truth the result of grave error committed by your son. Oh, yeah, by the way, not bad to mention this one. Just for everyone to hear the other noble houses, yeah, the minor noble houses, to hear the truth. The governor closes his eyes, fear and shame getting better. Yeah. It is not him, yeah. Doriana Garpak, a member of your family, orchestrated an assassination attempt against me here in my own palace, and though he has already been found dead, his acts is reason enough to forever brand your house as a traitor's. Mocking whispers creep through the crowd. Doriana is trembling faintly. She still does not raise her head, perhaps out of fear of meeting her fate face to face. Doriana Gapak is guilty only of her own poor judgment. Yeah. So back it is, yeah. I know that House Sobek offered the help to the Gapak, and the late Helen Gapak seemed to have accepted the offer. I suspect that you are reasonable for this death as well. Responsible for this death, for his death as well. Sobek froze his brows and slightly cocks his head. He averts his gaze for the first time, as if trying to remember or make sense of something. You notice someone. You notice some restless movement behind him. Abelard narrows his eyes and scans Machina Sobek and scrutinizes Machina Sobek, and his retinue standing behind him. His sharp eyes light up when he catches sight of something important and hidden in the crowd. The Seneschal looks at you and nods, as if saying, "The puppeteer has given him themselves away. Pronounce the verdict." In the conspiracy against the Rogue Trader, I find the air in the room frozen with a tense, almost electrified silence. All the nobles, some with fear and others with reverent anticipation, await your verdict. This is not a house, Gapak. This is Sobek, definitely. Head of your family has never tried to hide his attitudes toward me. This is more enough to connect. But this is not him. Someone behind him, yeah? Yes. Seneschal knows. Abelard knows. Yeah. Look. House Sobek guilty. Seneschal, you may take it from here. Excuse me. Abelard steps forward and stares intently at House Sobek's patriarch. Macharius. Yeah, I guess Macharius. I must admit, I have always admired your bluntness. But just as I once had to say goodbye to promotion because of my dislike for intrigue, you and your family might soon say goodbye to your heads. Tell me now, in your blunt fashion, are you loyal to House von Valancius? Sobek narrows his eyes, grimacing. I am loyal, Viserion. Abelard studies Sobek and suddenly nods. You're not lying, but someone else is. Someone who is poised to destroy both you and your family for her own gain. Cheris does not have time to respond. Regina, who is standing beside him, raises her arms as if to slap the elderly Seneschal. Abelard deftly catches her wrist, stopping her hand right in front of his face. Her dainty hand is adorned with a massive augmented ring topped with a thin spike dripping with venom. Whoa! Sobek shifts his confused gaze from his wife to Abelard, then back again. The stiff arrogance was vanished from his posture. Regina, you! Hedka Sobek. Mother! Upon realizing what happened, Hedka recalls from his mother. Charius, your bluntness makes you an open book. When I talked about helping the Gapaks, you had no idea what I was referring to. Your wife, on the other hand, her eyes started shifting like you would not believe. Regina Sobek, you alone betrayed the Rogue Trader, jeopardizing the prosperity of the Von Valassian's trade dynasty, and you alone are responsible for your unmasking. Regina, why would you do this? Like the spike on her ring, Regina's words are dripping with poison and rage, because Dargonos is serving an impostor. The true heir of the Protectorate bears a different name. When Kunrad appeared on Dargonos, he paid me a visit and opened my eyes to the truth of the situation. Theodora was killed by the one whom she had no unveilingly taken under her wing. Marchus is too narrow-minded to even consider opposing the rogue trader, even in illegitimate one. So I had to wait for the right moment, and the disappearance of Lord Captain could not have come at better time. It was quite simple to trigger a chain of events on Dagon so that the people remembered Master Voidweir past service. It seems that many of your subjects do not actually consider you a worthy successor. Why the Viserians? Because when stripped of the Seneschal's protection, this house is weakest on the all of the Dagoners. They are also particularly disliked by the governor's family. It would have been easy to bury the Viserians under accusation of heresy. Who aided you? There is no way you mangled all of this on your own. Oh, of course I didn't. I have too many helpers to listen to them all, but rest assured there are plenty of them. Just as there are plenty of people who followed Master Voidweir. My death will not change anything. The rogue trader will come and take his rightful place when the time is right. Why did you kill Hallan Garpak? Hallan was a good agent, but he also was a coward. He came to me just before our formidable rogue trader arrived. He was ready to confess everything. I suggested that he plead for Emperor's forgiveness first. And he did grant him mercy, did he not? Abelard, sentence has yet to be carried out. Finish this. Abelard turns his gaze to you. Does the rogue trade condemn only the rotten apple or the entire barrel? Oh. Fucking hell, this is a difficult choice to be done. That could be a huge problem if I'm more than sure that Sobek family have some more people who think the same way as Regina. But the way how her son and husband were surprised by that, they could become powerful allies eventually. And exterminating the entire I will not exterminate an entire noble line that is loyal to me just because of one traitor. But if I will sentence her to death, her husband can eventually turn against me. He already hates my guts, but if I will exterminate the entire bloodline, other nobles can, like, see in me the monster. And Oh, fuck. Okay, I will do how I believe is correct way to do. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is no the right answer. Maybe I didn't done everything during this quest, let's say like that. Yeah, but I will not exterminate an entire noble line that is loyal to me just because of one traitor. In that case, Regina Sobeck shall be subjected to intense interrogation followed by execution. Item received: Traitor's ring, yeah. Marvelous compact weapon in the form of ring that allows the wearer to fire a liquefy shot once per combat. 1525. 8 cell radius. Contaminated 3 cell radius area which inflicts 10 toxic damage and applies melting. Toxic damage. Melting is deflection and armor. Yeah. Okay. And I guess we're going to execute Regina now, yeah? By order of the Rogue Trader, Regina Solbach is sentenced to death for heresy and crimes against the Von Valitus trade dynasty. Whoa. Okay. That's, I guess, was really harsh execution, one of them. When the nobles disperse, state of the sated by the bloody performance, Abelard approaches you, his step firm. Lord Captain. You have my thanks. A rogue trader should not waste time on the matters that his servants trusters can resolve, but in this case your intervention was necessary, not just for the sake of my family but for your trade dynasty as well. Yeah, Ballard, yeah, this was really damn important one thing. Regina Sobek, evidently, Conrad's accomplices continue to plot against your protectorate. I fear we have not heard the last of such scoundrels. Thanks to you, Lord Captain, House Viserion is safe, although it came close to being wiped out as a result of scheming without an impudence within. Abelard pauses for a moment, staring off into the distance. Sometimes I think about how much I could teach them. I could ensure that they survive in the future without me. You and your family must be prepared for the next time something like this happens, and this will definitely happen. Abelard nods deep in thoughts. That is true. They need to be prepared for it, and I want to believe that they will be able to take care of themselves. I need time to reflect upon what happened and the role I played in it. I think I will be ready to resume this conversation later when we are back on the board of the ship. Abelard bows you and turns away, lost in thoughts. Whoa! Talk to Abelard on ship's bridge. Clementina, how are you? Nothing here to say. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this was. Oh, by the way. Yeah, you're the merchant. They have something on you. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we can buy some some stuff here. Maintenance station upgrade. Grave chill. Cyber Raven gains 30 willpower at the start of the combat while degradation is increased by 5. It's the start of the... Oh, so once. While veiled degradation is 10 or more, the Cyber Raven suffers no damage, and any related psychic powers deal an additional 24 warp damage to enemies affected. Could be a good one battle argument, but we are not using Cyber Raven for battle. Cyber Eagle gains 10 agility and perception and deals 150 more damage, while the Cyber Eagle is soaring. The OC gains 10% critical hit chance for ranged attacks. Critical damage dealt to obstructed enemies increased by 8%. Additionally, an obstructed enemy deals -% less damage. Okay. Familiar maintenance brain. Yeah, okay. We can apply this one. It can only be used in the Rogue Trader have the Overseer archetype. Okay, I don't have Overseer archetype anymore. Archetypes. Do you have something here? Abelard, Aristocrats, Solomon, Glade Cassia, my darling, my love, my sweet, sweet mutated pie. Pascal! Have anything to say? No. What? My appearance has caused a slight disturbance in the ranks of the servants of the Messiah assigned to the palace. Analysis of the performance of the rituals maintenance litanies has produced a satisfactory result. Okay. We need... Oh, we need to do so much stuff actually. Okay, so I don't think we will have... Yeah, there's a warden now here. I guess we can leave now this place. And I'm not sure if we have some... No. We need to talk to Abelard as soon as we are on the bridge. And I guess we are going to do this at the next episode, guys. Because, yeah, definitely time to finish this episode. So, if I will not forget, the first thing we're going to do is talk to Abelard. Let me just place myself before Abelard, so that next episode, when we will start it, I would immediately talk to him. Something important he's going to tell us, yeah? After that, where's he's somewhere around here now. Where's Abelard? I forget, where is he? Agenta, missionaries, Henrik's, and the next one quest I guess will be Henrik's quest. Bridge navigator, missionaries. Pascal. Where's Abelard? Huh? Oh. Miss him. Yeah. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So, next time we're going to talk to Abelard, and I guess the next mission will be the Henrik's mission. But I'm afraid we're already too late to properly save the Henrik's friends. But anyway, we're going to see this one next time, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you really soon. Bye bye.